Of course I clap as soon as I hit record. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much, ladies, for those that were able to hop on. And I'm so excited for those of you that are catching the recording. Tonight's call is going to be super simple and great tips to help you go out to eat and still enjoy your health and fitness journey and not feel stressed. So I'm going to shut up now and introduce Stephanie Mayer, who is my sister-in-law. Little funny story. We met because we were managers at Olive Garden restaurants together. I had just finished my management training and I was sent to a newer location. It was called at that time a Tuscan farmhouse. And I was to work with the management team there so I could get prepped and ready to open another new location. And when you do restaurant openings, you're like working 70 hours a week, 14-hour days. It's insanity. You're hiring staff stays, staff goes. It's like survival of the fittest. It should be like the show Survivor, which manager is left standing, because it's literally nuts. And so when I worked for the short time with Stephanie, we just became friends. Like, we just chit chatted. She's more of an introvert. I can be an extrovert when I'm in a comfortable setting, but if I don't know people, I can be quiet. You probably wouldn't know that about me, seeing me on here, but I can be. And whatever reason, we started working more shifts together, and we'd chit chat back and forth. And now I'm going to embarrass her because I feel like I need to share this. So Matt and I had just been married. We built our new home and we had a housewarming party. And I kept thinking, oh my gosh, Stephanie should meet my brother-in-law, Greg. They would be like so perfect together. But they were both not in situations where you would think they'd be looking for like their life mate or something serious. But I was like, now I get shocked. I'm like, I'm totally going to introduce them someday. And I found out my brother-in-law was not available to come to our housewarming party. So I decided to off the cuff invite Stephanie over. Well, funny enough, Stephanie, who's super introvert, would never go to somebody's house that she doesn't know. Like, she knew nobody but me and maybe my friend. No, not even Amanda yet. She came, and my brother-in-law, Greg, his plans fell through and he showed up. And before we know it, there we have it. They had like a year and a half, 2 years of casual relationship, like super cash. And that's what we said for the longest time. It's so cash. And here we are. She's not only like a coach that I work with on our team, but more importantly, she's my best friend. She is my sister. She's been married to Greg. They've got 2 kids. She's training for she's doing her first marathon right alongside me. So we're going to be both training while we're training, and we're going to be doing the one in Newport together. So it's really cool to have her reach out today and say, hey, I know you're coughing a lot. Any chance you want me to help out? Which, by the way, I don't have the vid. I have a sinus infection, viral kind of just lingering cough that won't go away. Anywho, and yes, I'm still saying the vid. I said that last week, and I'm going to just keep saying the vid. Anywho, so here is Stephanie. Stephanie, take it away.
Thank you for that lovely, embarrassing introduction. So as Erin said, we worked in restaurants together for a long time. I had a long career working as a restaurant manager. I still love to go out to eat, but I do have some tips. I know it can be challenging when you're going out to eat and you really want to relax and enjoy yourself, but you also don't want to completely throw off your plan and ruin all the hard work that you've been doing towards your health and fitness goals. So some quick, simple tips to share with you, and I'll share some of mine. And then if you guys have some that, I don't bring up that you want to share as well, that'd be really great also. So first thing I do when I go out to eat is I check out the menu ahead of time. So if I know where I'm going and I have a plan, I go online and I scope out the menu. That way, a lot of times nowadays, most restaurants have the nutritional information posted and available online. So you can even look at things like calorie counts and stuff like that. But then I can kind of go in with a plan instead of sitting in the restaurant when I'm trying to visit and enjoy my time with my family or my friends or whoever I happen to go out with. I don't get out to eat very often as I have 2 small children. So it's like a big, exciting event when I get to go. So I want to relax and enjoy myself. So if I kind of figure my plan out before I go, it's a little bit more relaxing and I'm not trying to I'm not trying to like speed through the menu and pick something really quick and feeling like I'm pressured and then I make a bad decision, you know? So take your time with your decision, kind of head into it with a plan. Another thing I like to do, and I actually do this when I eat at home a lot too, is I'll have a salad before dinner. So I always kind of start with a salad. That way I'm filling up on veggies. I drink some water and I'm starting to fill up before I even get into the big main part of my meal. So instead of getting like a fried appetizer or something like that, I'll get a salad. And that'll kind of help me along. Another big thing for me, and I learned this from working in restaurants for many years, and a lot of people are always afraid to ask. Do not be afraid to ask to customize your meal. Don't be afraid to ask if they can modify, if they can change something out. Most restaurants, they want you to be happy with what you're ordering. They want you to have a meal that you're going to enjoy. I can't tell you how many times as a restaurant manager, I would talk to a guest and they were like, oh my God, I can't believe you can do that for me. And we would just create entire meals that didn't exist on the menu. And Erin can attest to this. I'm sure she's done the same over the years. If someone has a dietary restriction or something, an allergy, whatever, we'll create something that's not even available on the menu, like listed anywhere. So don't be afraid to ask the question, you know, can I get 2 vegetables instead of the rice or the baked potato? Another thing to look for too is kind of hidden threats almost in your food. So things like you get the vegetables and you think you're making a really great choice, but you don't know how the vegetables are prepared and don't realize that they're coating it in a whole bunch of butter back in the kitchen, and that's why they taste so good. So be careful of that. Ask how the vegetables are prepared, ask them to hold the butter, things like that. Another thing for me, and this is a big trip up for me when I go out to eat, if the plate is in front of me, I will keep eating even if I'm full. I don't know if anybody else like that. If you leave that plate in front of me, I will still eat just because it's there. So for me, I'm always, please bring me a box like early on in the dinner. I don't wait till I'm full to ask for a box. I try to ask for it early on. So then as soon as I'm full, I can box up the rest and just kind of put it out of sight, out of mind. And I'm not still kind of picking at it. I'm trying to think what else. Drinks. When we go out to eat, we want to have a drink sometimes, right? We don't want to just drink water. So think about the drink choices that you're making. Try to stay away from like the juice drinks. Juice drinks are going to be loaded with sugar. Anything that's creamy, all that kind of stuff is going to be loaded in calories. A vodka soda, something like that is always a good choice, low in calorie. And even a lot of restaurants nowadays, I don't know if you guys are into the seltzers or not. I love seltzers, especially in the summertime, because they're usually like 100 calories. They're refreshing, they're delicious. I can still enjoy something. And a lot of the restaurants are starting to carry those too. So you can check that out as an option also, and stay away from like the beer and the heavy juice drinks and stuff like that. Or the other option too is build it into your plan for the day. So we don't always have to be perfect about what we're eating, what we're drinking. I'm not gonna lie, I have a glass of wine sometimes. I eat the dessert. So you don't wanna, like, I always say to people, like for me, it's not about like completely restricting your diet. I can't do that personally. I'm not a big restriction person. If you tell me I can't ever have something, that's all I can think about wanting to eat. So for me, it's all about kind of trying to balance it out. So I'll get dessert, but I'll share dessert. I'll be like, let's get a dessert and share it. Cause then I know my husband will devour 2/3 of it and I'll have a couple bites. So then I'll still feel satisfied. Like I got to have a little treat, but I'm not like dumping the whole thing. So what do you guys think? Erin's nodding here. You got some tips I didn't think of?
I love it. When I think of like Portion Fix, those folks that are using container systems, when we worked at the restaurant, like we had a dish, chicken marsala, and it was like 3 pieces of chicken, 3 4-ounce pieces of chicken, where 1 4-ounce piece of chicken is considered a red container. So when we would serve, or even the chicken parmesan would be 2 breasts of chicken, when really like on our Portion Fix system, which is based around a balance of macros, micros, healthy fats, and all that stuff, it's all about portions. And it's remembering that the restaurants really want you to come back, right? They want you to come back. They want you to feel like you have great value. So when they're building their plate, they're building it to make it look nice, to taste great, and have you leave feeling full, like you want to get wheeled out of the restaurant. And ultimately, our goal is not to eat to feel so full. We need to get wheeled out of somewhere. We want to feel satisfied. We want to feel good. And we want to be mindful and enjoy our food. And that's something that really was a wake up call for me when I was working there. And I started leaning into the nutrition and started leaning into the containers and was like, wow. So really when I go out to eat, especially when I was like really finally for the first time was like, okay, I'm going to commit to this program and I'm going to do the nutrition. I would, because I struggled with picking my plates, when the food was delivered, I asked for a takeout container right away. And I took half the portion and I put it in a box because I knew if it was off the plate, then I wouldn't be eating it. But I also didn't feel hungry or like I felt left, like I was missing out, because I understood that when you start learning about the proper portions to how to fuel your body well, you're able to see, okay, I just ate half of that. And that's what I'm supposed to have. That's what, oh my gosh, I do feel good. Like I think of the meals I used to eat at work before, and I would scarf down a chicken parmesan and I would have a side of salad. And then I would be like having my cups of soda. And after I learned how to fuel myself well and appreciate the food in the proper containers and the systems, I was like, how the heck did I fit that all in my body? Like, how was I not throwing up or feeling sick? And it's just because it's all about our minds playing almost tricks with us. So restaurants have big plates, physically bigger plates than we do at home. And their job is to fill them to offer value so we come back. But it doesn't mean we have to eat everything there. So ask for the box if you need to right away. Now I'm disciplined enough and I understand enough that I always typically have a second meal to heat up the next day. Almost always, unless it's the baked haddock from Fisher's Pub in Massachusetts here, because they have cornbread. I love the cornbread. I'll get my old lady coleslaw because I'm like a 9-year-old woman in my soul. And I love beets. I love pickled beets. So I get the same thing every time. I swear I'm like a 9-year-old woman there. That's one of the few meals that I'll actually like, I'll purposely like, okay, I'm going, I'm doing this. But ultimately, it's not an unhealthy meal. It's a good meal. It's delicious and it's got some balance behind it. So yeah, I found that super helpful. I love that. And I love you mean I can't fucking talk. All right. I love how you said, you can have the drink, but plan throughout your day. Or if you know you're gonna have dessert, don't have the sugary drink. Or if you're gonna have the sugary drink, plan on not having the dessert and finish with like a cup of black coffee or something. So does anybody have any questions? I'm going to mute myself because I can feel myself coughing in.
So after swim class, I took the kids to Friendlies with their grandfather. And that kind of seems like it's going to be kind of maybe like a tradition kind of thing, like every Tuesday. And I have 1.5-year-old twins and a 5-year-old. So it's like a good place to bring them. But, like I had a really hard time with the menu because I was like, should I get the shrimp wonton salad? Like, do I trust that from Friendlies? I don't know. And then I was like, I guess I'll just get the burger, but I probably won't eat the fries. But then I did eat all the fries and I ate the whole burger and I felt like nauseous later. So I just didn't know if there was like, I don't know, any tips or tricks to like kind of get through those like kid type places that you're not really going to have like, I mean, like, and the wait staff, like, I mean, it's Friendlies. Like, I know, like she was not like my daughter asked for a cherry like 16 times and still there was no cherry on her ice cream. Like, and then it's Friendlies. Like that's like basic. There's a cherry, right? So I don't feel like I can be like, and then I want it cooked this way. And, but I don't know. I just feel like, how am I going to survive this Friendly? Like maybe I need to bring my own food, but then that feels really weird.
Yeah. So I see Erin's typing something in the comments here because she can't talk. So she's wondering if there's a Panera near you.
My kids used to be obsessed with Friendlies, like obsessed with Friendlies. but the
I went to
service.
Panera today actually with my 5-year-olds after the dentist. So
Panera
that was
used
better.
to, Panera used to have a deal that if you got a meal, and I don't know if it's, I went to Panera today with the kids for lunch. I don't remember if I saw it. There used to be a deal that for like $1, you could add on like a cookie or something like a pastry.
Oh, I don't know.
So we did that for a while. So the kids ended up falling in love with Panera. So we haven't been to Friendlies in years.
Yeah.
But you could, my thoughts, and Stephanie might have a different opinion. You can either continue Friendlies and know that that's your one cheat meal for the week.
Yep.
That you would, but
It's like
you
not even
plan
worth it
for.
though.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I know.
I know if you're gonna have a cheat meal, you want to really
know.
enjoy your
I
cheat
know.
meal.
Well,
I
and
Like
know.
if
then
I'm
I'm
gonna
eating
do a
the
cheat
ice
meal, I'm going
cream.
somewhere really good.
Or
Yeah.
what time?
So-
It's lunchtime. What if you?
Yeah.
What if you?
No, it's dinner.
I was gonna say, what if you make your shake and you freeze it so it's frozen solid? You put it in a cooler. You take it to swim with you. You then drink it on your way to Friendlies. So by the time you get to Friendlies, just order like a side salad.
Yeah.
That's
I was
my
gonna
thought.
say that, or I
Yeah.
was gonna suggest the same thing as Erin, like plan to have your shake with you so that you can drink it before, get a small salad, and then you're still content and the kids can have fun and you're not totally blowing it on a meal you're not even loving. Or
Yeah.
if you want to do the burger, have them put the burger on top of a salad, skip the bun and the fries. And have them put the burger on the salad and you kind of have like a burger salad could be another way.
Yeah. I think
Kinda
if
mix it in.
I really liked the tip of like, look at the menu beforehand because I
Yeah.
didn't. And when I got there, I was just like,
Yeah, and you're
oh my
like
God, I
frozen
want to
and
eat
you're like,
all of this.
yeah, and you're a
And, like,
friendly.
none of it,
so
but
it's
all
good,
like,
yeah.
I was like, give me the bacon. Like I
Yeah.
was,
And the kids are distracting you. You're trying to read the menu and they're
oh
like,
my
Mommy,
God,
color with me. And
it was like
yeah,
the most stressful meal I've had.
yeah.
You know,
My
I'm just
kids love
shoving
Wendy's.
fries.
It's Wendy's for my kids. They love Wendy's. That's like their big deal. They get to get food from Wendy's. And I'm like, I usually try to convince them to do takeout
Mm,
because then I
Yeah.
can like bring it home and feed them the junky Wendy's and then I can make myself something else. But
yeah.
sometimes they just want to eat there. Yeah.
Right. Well, and it's because their grandfather or their
Yeah.
grandmother like meets us. But I think, especially with like, we could maybe like switch it up. There are a bunch of restaurants around, so maybe we can also be like, now we're trying this one, and
Yeah. And say, we're going to go out to eat each Tuesday, but we'll pick a different restaurant each week. Yeah.
yeah,
You could, I'm such a bad parent. You could put names of restaurants in the area in a cup. And then they pull the name and that's the restaurant they go to. And you just happen to forget to list Friendlies as an option.
That's genius.
yeah.
I'm such a bad
It's a little bit of
parent.
evil genius. I love it.
But you could do that. I don't
Right.
know.
My 5-year-old after like 2 or 3 times would be like, Mom, like, can we go? Like, we can't, we haven't been there. Like she's really smart, but that could work for a couple of 3 or 4 times maybe.
Great question. Does
That is a
anybody
really good
else have
question.
any food specific restaurant questions that they want to go over before I stop the recording? Because I love that. Okay. Thank you so much for watching the recording and those for hopping on.